welcome back to the channel Dota2 Supermajor live from the Yinsheng Gymnasium. We are live in Shanghai and we are in the upper bracket. It is already day 2 of the main event and our upper bracket game 3 will be coming up and that will decide which one of these two teams will be top 6 and which one will be dropped to the lower bracket. They're already top 12 for being in the upper bracket regardless, but you know, from top 12 to top 6, that's a pretty big jump. And Newbee has just managed to tie the score against Virtus.pro, which is no small feat, considering Virtus.pro is considered to be one of the, the best team in the world right now. So let's discuss what they can do to beat them once again, because that's going to be the question here with Sunsfan Black and Fogged. We asked Newbee to play faster in the second game, and they did.
Yep.
A lot faster.
They played faster. They had vision heroes as well, and I thought that game too. I was looking at the wards, and they were actually playing really good around their vision. They shut down a lot of VP's vision, and having like the Slardar being able to just run around and set up for kills, it was really important. I think for VP, I don't believe we'll see the Razor again, and I think they're going to draft a faster paced lineup as well, because like the Morphling and the Razor and stuff, like it just felt like a lot slower than the usual VP that I was used to seeing.
Yeah, no one. Don't get me wrong, it's a good Razor.
No, definitely.
It just doesn't fit too well with him in the team style, because usually he can't really secure the lanes or whatever. He couldn't just TP to safety and help Ramses.
Like he did in the first game.
Exactly.
And we talked about how deep their hero pools are. Let's see Kunkka again. I mean, that's an exciting hero. Why
there
not?
it is.
Why not? No one's a beast.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't remember the last time I've seen no one not have a good game twice in a row. You know, that's very uncommon. Yeah, very consistent.
Yeah. Now, we all talk about, you know, how a tournament over the length of it, you know, everything shifts and everybody adjusts, and it's key on knowing, like, which team can adjust best. I think this second game that Newbee played, if you compare that to the first, there's a lot of adjusting and improving in that. Virtus.pro, it's been a while since they've been tested. Sure, they dropped a game against TNC. How are they going to adjust? Because sure, the one hero changed for no one. It wasn't just no one, though. It was the whole system of having that tri-lane bottom and maybe not having the right movements. I think, you know, we gave like this, you know, of course, the triple MVP to the cores and all, but I think when you see Newbee playing with Naga, they're a completely different monster. So I think that might just be one that you bang out, right?
Naga.
Ban out the Naga, that's a good start to it. That's going to already like mess up their game plan, because, yeah, I mean, Newbee and Naga, name a better iconic duo.
And of course,
there's none.
Roger had a very rough game.
He did.
We don't usually see that at all. So he'll just play better in game 3 again. Because he's usually the like pace setter for the team.
Yeah.
Oftentimes he would just like run somewhere, get a kill there. He did like this game too, but he just kept dying, and his blink was very delayed. Was he the only initiation they had? I guess other than Doom, yeah. But the only reliable stun they had. Yeah, so.
I mean, when you lose, you learn, right? Whether it's about yourself or the enemy team is kind of up to your coach to decide. If not both. Art style is I mean, he's a top-notch coach, obviously, so we'll see what they have in store for this next game. But I agree, Naga took it out. It changes the complexion of the game in a lot of ways, right? You just have to play completely differently. You have to be spaced out constantly. Yeah, it's just one button to reset things, especially when you get Ag. I mean, we didn't really see the Ags maybe come into play as much as we thought, but the fact that he had that much money to spend on an item that is
crazy,
like luxury.
If you use it's a luxury, but if you use it as an initiation, it's almost like a wasted item, right? But if you use it to reset, it completely turns the fight.
Yeah, 80% heal, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
What about the Chinese special, by the way?
First ban Naga. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
The Chinese special, double D ward mid. Only
Double
Chinese
D
teams
ward
do
mid.
it. Only Chinese teams
All
do it.
right.
Oh, DP gets through?
DP.
Well,
First pick, no one, DP. Scary.
You know what combo we've seen that has been beyond atrocious somehow this tournament? Can you name it? It has DP in it. I'll give you a clue.
DP Dragon Knight.
Yes.
That has been the worst combo I think I've ever seen.
I don't like those two together. And have they won together yet?
No, not that I've seen.
Not that I've seen.
Yeah.
It's 0-2.
Like they just do the same thing. Usually you pick DK against DP or DP against DK because you want to kind of have like a counterpart to it. You don't pick the two in the same team.
Last time that Virtus.pro picked Death Prophet was against VG Gaming in the first game. They had a Morphling, Pango, Chen, and Rubik to pair
Oh, I'd love to see some Pango.
I'm Pasha Pango,
Tasty hero.
A lot of people pick Doom against DP.
Why do you think that? I mean, why do you think AA just disappeared, even when there's just Death Prophet first pick?
I think AA is an amazing hero, honestly. He
I
got
like
nerfed
it a
a bit
lot.
on level 1.
Yeah.
But his Ice Blast, with any setup, the DP just gets shredded.
Like here, I would think like Sanking AA in some situations, and it's just like, okay, you've got. I mean, you're sure you're probably maybe picking your 2 supports, but Sanking can switch the roles. I saw it like completely disappear, and I wanted to ask like more people, because a lot of people just like, I don't know. So I always like Kyle was one of the ones. Like Kyle absolutely loves AA. So I'm
Usually,
always
like,
curious
these
about
heroes, they get picked a lot, right? Like flavor of the month, and then suddenly nobody picks them anymore. And then another team starts picking it again. Oh yeah, AA is really good, and then they pick it again too. Just kind of like this Mirana we had.
Virtus.pro's turn to bat.
There's the Sand King, so that's going to be another Roger Sand King.
Team fight secured.
Yep. Newbie
Now, if you're
taking
talking
their
about AA,
disruptor.
it's not like it's going to be a band either, right? So
Isn't that it's
no.
pretty much
You can
never
save it.
banned.
You can save it to third or fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now they already have the disruptor, so you don't want disruptor AA.
Disruptor AA
together.
is very weak.
Well, I was looking
Yeah.
for VP, I mean.
Unless it's a
Because
mid
they got the
AA.
Sand King.
The Suma special, the mid AA.
Yeah. Well, I was saying the AA because they have the death prophet. You know, like, you just counteract the siphon and all
you
that.
counter the Doom.
Yeah, it is actually another
That
one that does
Scorched
work.
Earth, eh?
It's not all about HP region anyways, it's just like tanky heroes just melt.
Yeah,
The
they
second
do.
spell, the magic damage amplification,
Yeah.
very strong.
All right. I was just curious. I mean,
Yeah.
I've just been like the
I
hero
think
just
it's amazing,
disappeared,
yeah.
and I was curious about
Yeah,
other
for
people's
the record,
opinion.
I think it's amazing. Yeah.
So we've seen Kaka play Naga previous game, and that is his staple. His second staple is Sand King.
Both gone.
Both gone. Those are two of his best heroes.
Alright,
What-
he's done.
He's done. What is he gonna do?
Hero puddle exposed.
Maybe he could be the one who plays with Slardar this time around. I like Slardar versus Sand King
Huh?
overall in games.
Yeah.
You're always able to track him. He can't like, you know, go in and weave in and out of fights with that sandstorm.
Yeah, that's the most annoying thing. You don't have a Dust or Sentry.
He
Yeah.
does also play the Disruptor sometimes for his team.
And then Faith plays.
Okay.
Last time it was Faith played Dazzle, and
Ooh.
Kaka played the Disruptor.
Desert Disruptor sounds very
That sounds
awkward,
awkward.
to me.
Yeah. same.
And they won
Pro's turn to
with it was against Spirit.
Gyrocopter.
It's interesting that with a lot
Slark
of these really
incoming.
experienced teams, after they lose, they end up banning maybe one hero. You see like 4 heroes banned from last game
Yeah.
so far in this draft.
So VP is probably aiming to fourth pick like a Slark.
Yep.
Very good against 2 of their heroes. Once you get a BKB, you're also very, very strong against
10
Disruptor.
seconds remaining.
And of course, it's Ramses. Is it his favorite hero? One of the
5
favorites for sure.
seconds
One of his
remaining.
favorites.
He loves it. Or maybe Ramses Arc Warden.
No.
He practices a lot on pubs.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Probably not though, because a very not VP kind of hero.
Yeah.
Quite slow.
Quite slow.
Can't
I want
really put
faster
on the
pace.
pressure, yeah.
I want faster pace.
Probably Slark is much better. Even Lifestealer could work. or
Wait
they
a
banned
second.
themselves.
Yeah, they got banned.
Where did Solo go? Over the last couple of days, every time we've seen this room, Solo was sitting in the chair that Artstyle's sitting in right now, and Solo was the one pressing the buttons.
Maybe he's peeing.
You could be in the bathroom, yeah.
Yeah.
But
During
Artstyle,
the
Artstyle was
draft?
picking it the last time too. He was in the trap.
Yeah,
since
they,
the last
In the
switch,
perfect-
they switch drafters sometimes, right? Like
Yeah,
Ramses
Ramsey
draft
sometimes
sometimes.
drafts.
I know Ramsey sometimes draft, but then Artstyle still is there to provide support. And
I think Ramses does he takes the pick. Yeah, see, Ramses is picking. Artstyle's not even touching the mouse.
Yeah. Bane.
fair enough.
I think.
Bane versus Gyro. I
Yeah.
love Bane versus Gyro.
Yeah, it's very, very good. The Enfeeble just owns him
Yep.
completely. You
Exactly.
go BKB like first item, like Drums BKB, you have no damage item at all. You get Enfeeble level 3 even, minus 90 damage, you have like 50 per hit.
Yeah, and then also, I mean, I love it for the Enfeeble and also for the laning phase,
Yeah.
right? Because Gyro, you want to be able to do this burst damage, but Bane is this tanky beast that absorbs all of it, and you have Brain Sap to counteract a lot of it.
And of course, anti-BKB Fiend's Grip.
Yep.
If you ever get gripped and the ghosts are on you, you're just dead. If they pick a hero Slark is good against, we'll probably see VP Snap pick a Slark. But Newbee is a smart team, so I'm sure they won't do that. Because Slark kind of ruined their game in game 1.
Mm-hmm.
So what? Elder Titan?
Elder Titan.
No, that's a hard hero to run some of these times.
Yeah.
What other Kaka heroes?
You kind of want to have a kind of meaty hero too that can tank a bit in the front with the Doom.
This tournament, other than the Clock and the Naga and the
Tusk.
Sand King, he's also played Keeper of the Light and Lion. And Disruptor, I should say, as I said.
I actually like Lion quite a bit. Dragon Knight again, no, it's definitely a Slark
Oh
now.
boy.
I think this Slark
This is, yeah,
should be
now
coming.
Slark is really...
Yeah.
You ready for that Dragon Knight, Shannon?
No.
No.
I mean, I love this hero. He just feels like trash right now.
I think he works
Just
a little
no
bit
damage.
better when he has something like Gyrocopter.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like the DK,
DK Gyro,
Luna,
yeah.
DK Gyro, those kind of combos just to enable
I mean,
him
you
to
don't,
actually
you're
have
saying you
damage.
don't like Dragon Knight and DP together, Fog? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
10 seconds
No, I don't see that too often either.
It's probably the worst combo.
I
Why
get
do
it.
I get these games that are DP?
I don't get them too. I don't get them too much.
I think I've seen 3 in a row.
Oh God.
And all 3 games they got
But
like
that day was
crushed.
a disaster though, because we also saw
That is
Lich
true.
and
Lich
Tree.
Tree.
Yes, it did not work.
Oh, I didn't get. I saw the ends of those games.
Of Lich 3 and 2.
Well, the
Yes.
beginnings were the ends, so we didn't miss much.
They're taking a lot of time, so maybe they don't even want to take the Slark.
I guess maybe the Doom and the Disruptor puts it off, right? A little bit.
It's actually quite good against Doom, though, because it's very hard to get Doomed, and if you ever get Doomed and you run into the fog, you're gone.
Do we ever see any safe lane Bloodseeker?
Yeah, a couple of times already. Mugi loves it, for example.
Well, how is it for VP this game?
It's doable, but I think they want to have like more.
It's just, it doesn't feel like enough of a hard carry.
Yeah, exactly.
That you want to go with.
They kind of want to have something that can scale later, and like DP needs something that can hit hard later on. You don't want to solely rely on a DP exorcism for physical damage. Of course, Bloodseeker can do that, but it's very risky.
Newbee,
Troll?
turn to battle.
Omni Knight.
Alright.
Omni Knight
Saving
carry
it.
incoming.
I've seen this lane so often versus Gyrocopters. Omni Bane.
Omni Bane.
You actually put so much pressure onto this off lane.
50% win rate of the entire DPC games.
Yep.
That's a lot of games.
Yeah,
Omni was picked for a long, long time.
This is actually like VP's absolute favorite. If they see Gyro picked in the first two, they always respond with Bane Omni Knight. Because the Omni throughout like the majority of the game, the Guardian Angel of course is going to be excellent versus Flag, but in the laning phase, Repel and Heal counteracts all of that burst damage that Gyro wants to be putting out and putting pressure with.
I mean, Gyro is kind of... He won't really be strong in any phase of this game, honestly, against those two heroes. You have Enfeeble, you have Guardian Angel, his Flag Cannon won't deal damage, the Repel, as you just said, mitigates his, what's it called, Rocket Barrage damage, Slark banned out.
Slark ban, yeah.
I really thought they would pick it, because we haven't seen them ban
Quick pick.
TA.
Okay.
Wow.
Wait, so it's a safe lane DP then? It might even be the carry Omni Knight they've been running for a while.
They have ran that before, yeah, you're right.
And the Sand King DP off lane, and then TA mid.
Man, Ramsey's just showing off those legs.
He's too young, Fogged. Come on.
I mean, he's putting his foot up on the desk, man.
He's very flexible, that's what you're trying to say.
Hey, Undying.
Oh, wow, last pick Undying.
We've
Very
been
good
talking
pick.
a lot about that hero. He hasn't shown his face that much in the main event.
Disruptor Undying, too. You get that 1800 night vision from the Tombstone to get those glimpses off. So they've got chase potential, and this will try to help them secure the lanes.
And they don't really have tomb hitters other than the TA. But you don't want to be in tomb range, because all the reflection is going to melt.
You were all wrong the second game.
We were.
I blame Fog.
I'm ready again.
You ready again?
Yeah.
What?
You want to go first?
I'll go last this time.
I'm going to say VP because DK is going to be so trash this tournament. He's going to get buffed in the next patch. I'm going to be super happy because I love that hero.
You're going to go last? Bane Omni versus Gyro. I've seen this before. Going VP.
But have you seen the Rams as DP? I haven't. But I'm going in VP anyway.
Oh boy, that does not bode well for VP.
I think you just did Newbee a favor, perhaps by jinxing Virtus.pro. But let's find out what our commentators have to say about this third game. It is over to Topi and Kyle.
Well, it's done now. They all went the same road, so we know what the result's going to be. Why we even have to watch the game? Thank you, panel. Once again,
I honestly,
brilliant work.
I think Newbee's got the better draft, personally. That last pick on Dying completely changes the makeup of team fights. And while, yeah, Bane Omni DP, great, tons of sustain, but long fights now favor Newbee. You can't just run into a Tombstone with these heroes, and Undying, in theory, should body Omni Knight in the laning phase.
He should. But I'm still concerned, like, this is still Virtus.pro. This is still Virtus.pro. You've still got an Omni Knight as well as a Bane. These guys are really good at finding that burst damage, be it through Brain Sap as well as Purification and the stuff of Nightmare. So I like the way that VP can run the lanes. I like their mid laner a hell of a lot more than I enjoy Newbee's mid lane. Like Templar Assassin, rotations, changing the balance as far as like the lane pressure goes. Like this is such a better option than something like a DK. So I feel like VP are at least able to control the tempo of this game.
I don't think TA can do that at all. I think he's going to just be farming. The DK is the one that's going to rotate. Yeah, you have a Gyro as well. Like, you can actually play so fast as Newbee because both your 1 and your 2 are very comfortable connecting and also being able to pressure towers a bit.
The battle for the runes. Mugi's going for the third one?
Yep, well played. He wins both.
Yep, that he will. He'll rotate back around inside the lane. Omni Knight can body block a little bit, try and create a little bit of time to... I don't know if they want to harass or if they want to go into Faith, because he's the easier one. I say the easy one, he's got 20 decay stolen, so this Brain Sap and Purification combination, which would kill any other hero, is now actually working for the Undying.
He needed to buy a shield, though. He's really feeling the pain of not having a shield. And the downside of stealing all this strength is that Brain Sap and Tango that Solo keeps using heals him to near full.
Faith actually going back to base.
Yeah.
So this actually leaves Gyro by himself on bottom. Meanwhile, up on the top lane, it's Roger and Kaka playing the support runarounds. KP and Ramses is the core. Black was a little uncertain about a Ramses Death Prophet. This does show too that VP played in all 3 core positions.
Yeah, the DK, I love DK against TA. It's just about being abused in the laning phase. Like previously on panel, I called a game for TNC when they had Ember versus TA, but then the TA just wrecked him in the laning phase. And the same thing can happen to a Dragon Knight, already out to a 4-5 versus 1-1 lead. But as the game continues, if the DK can stay even, you crush TA throughout fights because he can't threaten you. You stun him, your passive burns through refraction very quickly, and the damage reduction on a hero that's completely reliant on auto attacks is very significant, especially with the talent.
Yeah. But that's when I look towards Pasha's ability. Like, is that repel, the timing of it? Obviously, the duration, you need a higher level before you're able to reach that 7-second duration. I think it got nerfed a while ago, too. So that I see enabling no one, where you can go for more aggressive items with the Blink and the Desolator.
In down bottom, this Bane Omni Knight is, Fog said, like, I thought Undying would be, and he did buy the shield also. He recognized, like, I really need one of these if I'm not going to keep trading, because he even underestimated just how strong this lane was.
Solo just stands his ground against Faith. Is he actually almost wanting to be decayed multiple times so he can tango? That's what this feels like. Actually, he's going to just walk up and pick up the regeneration rune. Faith will cancel it instantly, so Solo has to nightmare him to gain the space. But he'll have time to pump into him. And okay, he'll lose a little bit of it.
This works though. I can't believe he's actually just beating Omni Knight, or sorry, beating Undying. This Bane hero, man, no matter how much he gets nerfed, like they nerf Enfeeble into the ground, but it's like, all right, well, I'll just start skilling my other really powerful abilities, and that's exactly what Solo chose to do.
Is he like, in some ways, like the Batrider used to be? Like, we nerf him, we nerf him, we nerf him, and just mechanically, he's such a great hero.
And it's just so much damage threat as well. Like, when Mugi is softened up like this, if he takes a sleep, level 3 Omni heal, like, it's so much damage, and VP just crushing their lanes.
You've got level 2, and yeah, Kaka knows he needs to TP out quickly, and the interrupt of KP's Infernal Blade, keeping Kaka alive. He didn't go all the way back, he only TP'd to the tier 1 tower, wanted to stick around. He's got tangos, hey, why not? But right now, VP are winning all 3 lanes as far as CS on cores.
Yeah, and Undying still just level 1.
Nightmare bottom, switch it off. Pasha, he's got the level 2 purification. Going to pump it into Faith. Gotta be careful, they keep getting double decayed. This time around, though, it didn't actually. Solo got a little bit higher up.
He got the word, but he can't actually fight the Bane. He needs level 2, and then he can start spamming Soul Rip as well. Still has a ton of mangoes, so mana isn't an issue. Mid lane doing all right. It's really when DK hits 6, then you can just farm in dragon form, or rather lane in dragon form, and TA feels a lot of pressure. Yeah. But for now, he's just not really much you can do. No one excellent with those side blades and laning very effectively.
Is there actually a rotation from VP that isn't just Roger? Because Roger's had a bit of a hard time on top lane. Okay, homing missile, Faith so low on life, but it's Soloist move away from Mugi's Rocket Barrage.
I definitely underestimated Bane Omni. Fogg was talking about this backstage. Like, he's like, I literally can't theory craft a lane to beat this. And I'm thinking Undying is just the best laner in the game, but these two heroes together, like, I actually can't give you a dual lane that beats them. This is nuts. Especially with the mango change. They both showed up with 3.
Never-ending regeneration. You've always got mana when you need it. The one man who needs a little bit more is Roger. He's limping all the way back to base. He found himself a double sack and was trying to farm it up with level 1 Caustic and level 1 Burrow. This was not the dream. But it's buying space for Ramses to do a lot of work. Like, he can still get the 5-minute bounty rune. He pulled the creep wave down, so he's not losing the momentum in the lane, and he's getting a lot of early levels as well. This was expecting from VP, where they can be the ones to be more of the aggressive with the exorcism when it's up.
And then Invis now on Roger. If he finds the if SCCC walks into the trap, he's gonna die and get first blooded. And man, look at the mid CS matchup. Like TA 70-30 this lane.
Trap 1, Burrow Strike follow-up. No one doesn't actually have refraction. They don't have the extra damage, so even with the 2, Soul Rip from Faith ensures that SDCC will stay alive.
They're a little over aggressive. They had 2 traps too, so if he had just been a little more patient, they set up with the DK on both traps. Like, he had Refraction up and just a little bit of mana, just a little over-eager.
Yep.
That's a big kill to miss out on as well, especially since the Shrine is active. So SCCC doesn't really lose much, and there's already Undying here to soak up some XP.
And Roger needed this too. Like, he needed the levels from the kill.
Once again, the ward placed from the smoke before he got the invis, saw the Undying walk to the left and place that other ward, and they see it now thanks to the sentry that was also placed by Roger during the smoke.
Man, what great vision game. Wish Newbee had someone that could help him with that.
Yep.
Top lane, here comes your Exorcism, but it's the Burrow Strike ready for Roger. He's turning his attention towards KP, but realized he couldn't reach him, so he'll work against Kaka. They glimpse Ramsey back. Oh, he was mangoing so he can Crypt Swarm it out. Meanwhile, on bottom lane is where the kill comes. It's Solo who dies of all people. Roger, Burrow Strike, can't get the revenge on top. So it's actually 2 kills going the way of Newbee. Maybe something else can happen because it's KP with 1 armor trying to run away from Ramsey with Exorcism. So VP gets something in return, but the unkillable lane is killed to give first blood.
Yeah, and it's because they dove. They just dove super hard and did some old school VP things where they end up losing solo under tower tanking it. And they didn't have quite enough regen to deal with the gyro and the tier 1 tower for 15 seconds or so. And another great ward as well, just that smoke was super efficient from Roger. Look at this ward behind top tower. So now they can play away from Ramses. He's going to just use those drains to sustain, and they can just beeline for this gyro and dying lane with their support.
They get another crack at bottom. Undying, this is no purification available, face already pretty low, but the repel's on Solo. They knew the homing missile was coming towards him. Parsh is waiting it out. He's got purification in 1 second time, so face will fall while Mugi was killing off the support. Tombstone was dropped, and Pasha has no desire to fight that. In fact, I think he was trying to bait with the minions to get Mugi to chase him so Roger could help to try and turn the fight, but not going to happen.
And this is where you see TA moving to jungle, DK level 6, who's a bit threatened, but
Smoke gank.
this is the right move because Gyro level 6, his time to move.
Kaka and Mugi together, round the mid. That's that smoke gank I was talking about. No one, they observe forward up. He gets a refraction off, glimpse back. They brought detection, so no one knows this. That's why he's trying to run far enough away that then he can go into the melt. But he's just on the edge of the range for the Sentry Ward. Pasha, a rise for purification and repel. The TA trap slow, but no one else is here to try and punish this Newbee aggression.
So again, just a little overeager. DK not close enough to be able to find that kill. If they wait on the glimpse a little bit, they probably end up working that out, but instead, they just force the shrine.
I love how too now Roger, like his rotation to bottom lane, they're giving him space to find levels and the farm. So with Tranquil Boots are up, Roger is going to be very efficient now.
And top lane, they're trying to sub. It's so hard to kill a Death Prophet.
How do you
they
do
need
that?
to get the Doom off.
And he's
then
just about to
dive.
get his second Spirit Siphon charge too. Bottom lane, Burrow Strike, Purification. That's a lot of damage into Faith, but he'll hit a double decay and gets more life.
Top lane,
and yeah, they're
there's
diving
the
into the tower.
TPs.
They got the Doom on the Death Prophet. And more support is coming in. The wall from Kaka, it didn't get the perfect catch out. In fact, Kaka loses his life to no one.
Yeah, no one is just taking off. He is so farmed right now, and this is why you take that TA. He gives you the tempo control, but more importantly, secures Roche later on and just crushes the lanes, and that's the VP special.
How do you stop a DK from taking out your mid tower? Put him to sleep. Kill off the creep wave, put him to sleep.
It's the same as killing Sunsfan on panel. Just keep picking DP Dragon Knight.
We all know Sunsfan won't die on the panel. Sunsfan will die on a toilet.
That's way too much. What's?
The Sunsfan's mono, right?
I don't know. I must not know the meme.
Yeah, you
I'm behind
don't.
the times.
That's where he spends most of his life. Top lane, they're coming again for the Death Prophet. Hasn't had time to regenerate after hitting the Doom, and with Mugi on this top lane, there's a lot of follow-up damage. So he starts the Spirit Siphon. That's one way to regenerate.
The problem is they've been abandoned, like this Gyro. Like no one's been bottom for a lot of this time. Gyro just constantly trying to force movements, but in the meantime, no one in Omni are just farming up like crazy.
They moved over. Glimpse has to pull Kaka away. Hits with the Mel Strike, which means Burrow Strike follow through. That's -6 armor. Roger does so much work. KP's trying to help out. Quick Sandstorm. Still not enough damage to kill off Kaka. Maybe it is. Roger just goes for it. Burrow Strike through. He'll at least get the kill this time around. But the homing missile doesn't matter. It actually switches targets. Moves back over. KP. No one with a double damage rune. They cannot survive that.
Yep.
So Undying dies on bottom lane to Pasha while that was going down.
Yeah, and that's the strength of VP. They love abusing these super powerful lanes, and then they just leave the core there alone. Omni Knight's just been free farming bottom for the last 5 minutes, and Undying tries to soak up some XP and farm, but he can't even sustain himself against the hero anymore. And the same story with mid, where no one just can do whatever he wants in the game. He'll have a Deso by 12, 13 minutes.
I love the atomization as well from Pasha. Like, he's going for drums. Like, with this type of space he was farming up, I was wondering if he'd start to get some of the bigger team fight style items, but it doesn't even feel like he needs it.
I like drums. No one else on his team can really buy it, and it's super solid this game. I also love no one's choice to just rush Deso, because he doesn't want to be in a position where he's forced to go take fights. They're playing into Gyro DK Undying.
Yeah.
You don't want to be playing Blink TA right away this game. Continue to accelerate, farm, grow your net worth advantage to the point where you're able, when you are blinking in, you're able to two-shot people. Because once again, fighting into Tomb is still the way Newbee win this game.
Yeah.
They just have to bring VP in, sustain, survive, land some big ultimates. They always have the Disruptor for the +1 kill, but it's all about getting that Tomb down.
Oh, Faith's coming over to Planet. That's that level 2 Tombstone he has. Roger's pretty close. He's here to stack up the Ancients. So Mookie can see this. So the Ancient stack begins as I'm hearing Exorcism also burning. Down in the trees, Ramsey was looking for KP. He'll doom, but he dooms the Omni Knight. Nice switch to the target. There goes your Tombstone. KP, he has the distance. No, he doesn't. You've got Roger. Rotates from the side, so he'll end up killing KP in return with the Sandstorm. Maybe not. Scorpius has enough regeneration, so it's all about the fight on the bottom where Ramsey just tries to out-tank everyone. The Spirit Siphon and Exorcism has done so much work. Roger, double Burrow Strike. He doesn't have the Sandstorm up, but the Stick Charges as well as the Infused Rain Drop, they did all the work they required, and Solo even hit 6 through this. Gets the Fiend's Grip off. A triple kill for Ramses. The panel questioned if Ramses could play a Death Prophet. I think the answer is yes.
He's played
yes,
this
he can.
before. Of course he can play DP.
course
Ramses
he
plays
can.
everything. This is why most teams feel they can't give Death Prophet to VP, because they just seem to always dumpster games with it. And that was a good setup from Newbee. I thought that Tomb, you could see TA started running down through it and realized, wait, I need to get rid of this. But the problem is they used Gyro ults. Only one half of it hit because they glimpsed him back. They missed the Disruptor ult in Kinetic Field. You can't whiff 2 ultimates and expect to win a team fight against Virtus.pro.
Yep.
Especially when they decide to bring 5.
And now VP with a fully completed Desolator on no one, 13 minutes in. He's still got himself a nice triple stack of Ancients he'll take as well. This Blink Dagger timing is going to be so quick. Like, we're talking 15 minutes worth of Blink Dagger. And then you can still look towards Roshan, but Newbee are looking towards top lane.
This is again
They're
the power.
coming for the fight.
Deso first, just you accelerate when you go blink.
Great Observer Ward. So Newbee knows what they're up against. They see the smoke from Virtus.pro. But once it's Newbee who had the information over VP.
The problem is no one is, like, the Dragon Knight is the one they're making space for versus a Deso TA. And the reason you get that Deso, look at this jungle. There was a triple Ancients there a little while ago, but he's cleared out the entire woods in about 30 seconds, and then he takes the mid wave. All Dragon Knight was able to do was kill that mid wave in that time.
And with this smoke too, they got an Observer Ward planted down just on the western side of Roshan, up on the hill. So Faith, it's going to be so juicy to go for. The issue is they cannot go up the hill. That's the downside about not having the Blink Dagger on no one early on. But with the double damage rune, Roshan's going to be looking so attractive if Newbee wasn't there.
Mid tower first. Their wards are set up to secure this mid tower advantage. It's just all about positioning around the room. And I love this. VP, they save wards. They've placed 4 now. There's 4 on the map. And look at that, a ring around the Roshan. What are they going to do after this mid tower, Toby?
I wonder. KP's coming in, looking for the Doom. They have their own Observer Ward. KP, Silas, he can't get it off. Instantly murdered. The Tombstone is down, but with the GA up, no one in Pasha. They know they can get rid of this. Ramses has the Exorcism over on the side. They move in. Bane, Brain Sap, and Nightmare. Solo gets his life back up again. The Black Hand of Mookie. Everything has been for naught. They just run them down. Virtus.pro on the warpath. A defensive Yule Scepter from Ramses, but the Burrow Strike from Roger into the epicenter. They'll have the slow, they'll have the control, and VP have split this fight into 3 different parts. They get 2 kills at the last part of this fight. The only one they don't get is SDCC back behind the tower. But it won't matter, the Tier 1 tower falls anyway, and Virtus.pro is so superior in these fights. And there's your Blink Dagger. It was 15 minutes for no one.
And that's such an incredible timing.
And they're going to get all the bounties too.
Oh, yeah.
Money skyrockets. It's a 9K net worth TA now. To the 5-3 of a DK.
284 gold per player. Actually, wait, more than that.
Don't make me do math. You know I suck at that.
It's 355 per player. So they take the team fight, they get the tower, and now you just relax. Everyone buys up their items. You wait for your ults, take another fight, and they're just abusing Newbee's lack of wave clear. They simply cannot farm fast enough, and they're not giving them those team fights that they wanted earlier. Like, Newbee failed execution on the first. The second one, as soon as Doom dies, DP gets his ult off. He doesn't care that he's sitting in silence. And once again, the huge AoE team fight spells of Newbee land for naught.
Yeah. He needed KP to connect, but it's so difficult. Like, when VP sees you coming from a mile away, it's hard. And maybe that's why SDCC, before he finishes up any other item, just as the bracer treads, he gets the Blink Dagger up and running. Glimpse, they are pulling Roger back in again, but he still had Burrow Strike. Down into the trees, begins the TP. They've used all their stuns. Roger actually being a factor in this game and not having his Blink Dagger delayed. You have the smoke out from VP. I think one hero was actually in range of the Observer Ward in mid lane.
I gotta say, just first read and watching the difference in Newbee, game 2, game 3. Lina for SCCC, he was able to make moves. All Newbee had to do was hang out in his lane. This game, what's a Dragon Knight to do when you fall behind? There's no lanes winning. I said he was going to rotate. How do you rotate to a lost lane?
They're smoking, trying to contest Roshan. They know something is up. Roger's going to reveal himself. Blink Dagger stun goes there, but VP won't care when they take the Aegis Immortal into the hands of no one, especially if Roger, they're going to glimpse it back, but VP, they want this fight. They never burn the Exorcism to kill off Roshan, and then the Purification gives him the life back. Doom is down without getting his ulti off. It's all happening again. They jump VP. They're going to bring down NCCC. Maybe there's at least a little bit of revenge. Omni Knight does pull. Buyback now from the Doom. They're going to try and bring this damage down. Ramses, he's surviving through it, but for how long? The Glimpse pulls him back in closer. No one wants to be part of these fights. Currently, he's not the one going down, but Roger's Barrow Strike. They isolate the Doom. Remember, he's got that ulti. He'll finally get it over on the TA, but Roger, with the epicenter, he does the work required. So TA, tanking through the Doom, turns in for a Barrow Strike. A rampage for no one. And Virtus.pro, they may have had a couple casualties of war, but it's the big one. It's the 12.5K net worth TA.
Yeah, they're finding kills before the Tomb even has a chance to go down. Newbee wants long fights. They want them forced to deal with the Walking Dead along with their 5 heroes, but VP gets to a point where 3 heroes are dead before the zombies even start to threaten them, and they're just too far ahead at this point. TA's run away with the game. He's got a drag. He's about to finish a Hurricane Pike. I mean, no one's just huge. It's 18 minutes in, and I don't think there's any stopping him anymore.
Here's that fight again.
Yep, Roger, once again, he might end up dying, but, or does he? Because he gets healed by Omni, makes the space, all of a sudden Newbee's in trouble. There's the grip onto the Doom. He's dead immediately. There's still no Tomb. There's the Disruptor ult on nothing. Now the Tomb goes down, but look at where Dragon Knight's positioned. Yeah, you might kill the Omni Knight, but your team's already turned and run. Your 2 big teamfight ults are once again already gone.
We come back live, and well, we were harping on the Doom previously. Mr. -6 armor, and thanks to no one already having an entire Hurricane Pike, he can keep up with this Doom's movement.
He really needs an ice armor. The Wild Wing +3 aura, not quite enough.
Well, we'll let him know when VP decide to leave the jungle so we can move out and try and find one.
Yeah,
I've done a little bit of scouting, and nothing is nearby for him. In fact, there's one right next to his shrine.
Future games in this tournament, I feel like that SCCC playmaker hero, that was the real difference maker in that game too. And
yeah,
when you're playing Dragon Knight and no one's TA again, I think this matchup is maybe, I don't want to say it's even, it's TA favored, but when it's that TA favored,
it's just so sad. Like having him on Lina, having him on like Storm or anything which can carry the game for you. Like, it just feels so much better.
He can't do things. It just feels bad. He has a blink now, but is it going to be enough?
Ramses gets a 3-man silence, goes into the ulti, and no one! Oh, Kaka, 2-hit down he goes. And they'll get rid of the tombstone and then move off.
it stops them in their tracks. But you can see, like,
Roger found.
if only they weren't 16K behind.
He found
Toby.
Faith. He even blinks to take the bounty rune. Faith's going for the others. Like, come on, come on. What have you got? What have you got, Roger? He's got Burrow Strike in 1 second time. Nah, Faith gets the bounty rune. It's okay. Meanwhile, bottom lane, tier 3 tower being attacked. So Undying cannot leave here. He doesn't have a TP scroll. Nice nightmare from Solo. No donk onto the TA. But they're beating the tier 3 tower. Karka puts the wall down. No one happy to say. Remember, he's got the Aegis, the Immortal. So any abilities the Newbee want to commit to try and kill off no one, you've got Pasha sitting right behind him. So Repel and Purify is always there. The sustain is brilliant. Yep. And Undying did end up having to die to Roger, but
took a while.
It took a while, yeah. But VP were fine with that. No Undying, no Tombstone, no nothing. Well, the Tombstone was on cooldown anyway, but...
See, it's just, again, I look at the drafts, I think Newbee, you've got a great chance to win this game, but it's so hard to predict that, I mean, I guess at this point it should be simple.
The Pain Omni.
That the VP I mean, their 3 lanes just win.
Yeah.
All of them, and how many times have we seen this where it looks good on paper for the enemy team, but then VP just says, hey, we're better than you everywhere. And they just start snowballing with a huge advantage.
Newbee's coming to gank. That Observe Ward's really thin on the line, and now Omni Knight pushed out. He'll get the repel off. They do still doom him, however. It was the Hurricane Pike of the TA, and Omni Knight's just running west. Like, fine, you gotta follow me this way if you want me.
They got him.
They did, in fact, get him.
Again, look at the vision they have from VP.
It just slowly.
It's like watching.
It's another DD.
It's like watching the Zerg spread creep. Just gets closer and closer to the Newbee base until eventually they start invading.
God, no one's just so strong.
He's hasted with DD. Oh
yeah.
my! No.
He double ruined this. Like right now, no one.
Okay, Aegis just faded, so he's a little
bit
hesitant,
more cautious.
Yeah. If they caught that glimpse, maybe they would have found him.
I think he still wants to go in. He's underneath an Observe Ward, not where he wants to be, but it won't matter when Ramses is able to be in close. Roger needs to Burrow Strike forward, but knew he needed the stun, so Epicenter is down.
No tomb for 10 seconds, though.
Yeah. No one. It's bounced back out again. It's like they're really poking and prodding. They want Newbee to fight, and Newbee will want to fight underneath this Observe Wall, but Ramses back in again with that ultimate. They got the silence onto the DK. SDCC, man, they removed so much of his armor that they can just tear through that Dragon Knight. Mugi begins his TP. Solo, okay. He's Nightmare? Nothing. You already used it.
And it's just the same story, it feels like. Yeah, they killed Omni Knight bottom, but they had to spend everything they had. And then they just end up taking another fight, but this time they have no cooldowns.
Last 0.00001 of a second of that TP of Undying, and Roger connects on the Burrow Strike.
No Doom. No Gyro ulti even at the start of that fight. No Tomb. How do you want to fight, but VP's so good, just poking and prodding, as you said, just keeping them there until eventually by the time DK blinks into stun, as you said, Omni's there.
Yeah, and Omni's going to be there even more. The range of the Ether Lens, and yeah. It's just good times. It's good times for VP. Lincoln Sphere just arrives as well for no one on the Courier. Once he has the ultimate orb, which is practically there, as far as money goes.
But now you just relax, wait for that second Roche.
At least it's not for the one of trying for Newbee. Like they've been smoking, they've been coming out. The second they got that Blink Dagger onto SDCC, they at least had a plan to go out and fight. The issue is, you're so far behind in net worth, behind the 3 cores of VP. 17,000 on the TA to the, 8.5k of the Gyrocopter. That's your number 1. And he's almost 10,000 net worth behind a VP core.
And from this point on, I mean, you're going to have this insane timing after that second Roche where you'll have BKB on the DP, he'll all blink in. Lincoln's on TA, he'll get repelled. There's nothing you can do to remove it. Disruptor, Undying, walking around with pretty much 4 armor each, respectively.
They'll have no health as well. Spirit Vessel's being built up right now by Roger. And they're waiting for the 25-minute runes. Like, Pasha's already moving over for it. They die a scan to make sure no one was hiding invis.
Another DD on no one.
So they get 3 of the 25 minutes. Newbee need this money. Like, they desperately need this money, and they think they can get it out of a team fight. So they're in position on the top lane to do it. Another Observe Ward being planted, so they can keep eyes around the back. While No one's walking around with a fresh double damage. He's not even bottling to
time to
hold on
go.
to this. There's no fight to be had. He's plus 272 damage on his base 142
and look
on
at
a
where,
TA.
First off, they smoke outside the reward vision. They know there might be some on the left side, so they smoke at tower. And no one, he stays showing because he's the only one that has been shown. And look at where their waves are. So much vision.
They found the Doom.
Of course you're going to find kills. Look at the map control they have. They have vision of this entire area, and look at where Newbee is.
Glimpse by Solo. No easy follow-up.
They're just running through the wards.
They don't care. Head straight down to bottom lane. The Observer Ward shows they didn't go in, and Roger again. How many TPs must Roger cancel of Faith? Hit him with the Metal Strike, lose so much life, and now they chase after Kaka. I swear we're playing Ring a Rosie. Ramses, Yule Scepter, okay, he's the one. There's no Burrow Strike. The Storm doesn't allow Roger to get the Burrow Strike off, but bottom lane, the creep wave's there for Virtus.pro. So Doom is down, Undying is down. They will take this tier 3 tower.
So good, so fast. The game's just playing itself for VP. The bottom and mid lanes are shoved. You force Newbee to take those waves under your wards. You could take the fight top if Newbee wants to give it to you, but there's a double damage TA, so that's impossible. Now you get the pickoffs and immediately into the base.
Yep. Tier 3 is gone. Use the end of the Exorcism, the TA traps. Slowing down the response from Newbee, and it's a 5-man silence, and that's the ultimate jump in from no one. Doesn't have enough life. The one charges of Disruptor means that no one doesn't have enough damage to find the kill. More TA traps to slow him up. Solo going for the Fiend's Grip and the Burrow Strike in there from Roger. They don't kill off KP, but the isolated Tombstone with an Undying slept up. He could not keep it alive. At least SECD can jump out with the call down. They'll find that pickup on the Bane. KP wants his target. He actually doomed up the Omni Knife, but they've now expended the entire duration of it, and that's just a ticket to dive in again. Another Burrow Strike into the epicenter. They have the damage output. KP is ticking. They repel up Roger, so SEC doesn't have enough damage, and this really is GG. Call out by Kaka. They know this game is over. Virtus.pro 2-1. Newbee and advance through into the semi-final. Newbee will have to drop down into the lower part of the bracket. Do I dare quote the tweet out from KP? I forgot what the winner's bracket feels like. VP send them to the lower bracket after that.
At least he got a taste. And
he did. It's a decent taste, but their matchup, like, there's so many fantastic teams right now that Newbee just cannot compete with.
They did prove that VP can bleed. And I think if there's a takeaway from this, it's that if you really want to beat VP, you have to play faster than they do. And you have to be able to threaten them the same way they seem to threaten you every single game. And you can't make it one of what feels like every 2 games where VP just crush the lanes and then take the game. It's like time and time again. I don't know how you stop this team.
Yeah. You know the easy way Newbee can win a game? Drop to the lower bracket and play up the winner of VGJ Thunder and Final Tribe. Because that's where they head. They can at least have more confidence up against that game. But still, hey, they won game 2. Something to take as a positive. But Virtus.pro, they're still looking very, very good.
They do indeed. Thank you, gents. Indeed. That was already Virtus.pro in the top 6, just like that. They do manage to drop 1 game to Newbee, so that's good news for everybody out there, indeed, looking to take a game off of Virtus.pro. But it was still a rough one for sure. And before the game started, Shannon, you were actually the one that said you never seen no one have 2 bad games in a row. That was not the case this time as well. He was on fire.
God, I know. I'm really smart, by the way. It's not like he's been amazing all year or anything, but no. For those of you who don't know, we have like a 2-minute walk from here to where we actually watch the game, and I felt like by the time we got there, he had Desolator on TA. It was so fast, and that hero just snowballs out of control because you get the stacks of Ancients, you get the Blink Dagger, and I mean with all the other lanes, it just sounds like looks like they just won every single lane this game.
Yeah. Again, they won all 3 lanes, and I mean I personally looked at this one. I felt like this was pretty big outdraft, honestly. I think the Omni Bane, they put so much pressure on this gyro. You saw Mugi. At this point, he was doing, like, his farm was okay, but it stayed like that for the rest of the game. They can't actually get, like, the farm to get on the map. And VP, during all this, they were fighting for the most part as 4, while no one was finishing up some Ancient stacks, and then he comes afterwards to the fight, and he's just there for cleanup.
I mean, even if the gyro does get really fat, though,
He's countered.
He won't do anything,
Yeah.
Guardian, Angel, and Feeble. Just a great draft, great execution. I would really like to have like a statistic on how often VP wins like all 3 lanes. because I think that's the team that does it the most.
Yep.
I also I've gotten to see them, of course, casted them so many times in these tournaments, and every time I see these gyrocopters and they have Bane Omni, I don't think I've ever seen them lose to the gyro with Bane Omni Knight. It's just, it shuts down the hero. And we went downstairs, and as we were pretty much walking, we looked and we're like, pretty much all of Newbee's damage in this draft is going to be coming from that gyrocopter, and he's got these 2 heroes that really put so much pressure on him in the game. So it did feel really hard. Newbee had to have an explosive start and make this Undying just completely take over the lanes, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, once Gyro is behind, all you're left with is a Dragon Knight, and we all know how Sunsven feels about Dragon Knight.
I want to love him. He just needs that Aghanim Scepter upgrade where he stays in dragon form
The whole time.
the whole time.
He becomes a black dragon.
I know, we've talked about this before. You really want the black dragon, but
Yeah.
I feel like you're a little bit biased on that.
yeah.
What would the black dragon be, Fog? What would the extra bonus be?
Percent chance to auto kill, right? Sounds
What?
pretty cool.
Wow,
that-
that's great.
No,
It's
let's
just
not
like
do
the old,
Fine,
the old
okay.
gambler. is
Wouldn't
what
it be
you're
like
saying?
the increased magic resistances? Isn't that usually what it is in like the
it would
lore?
Be, I think it would be minus armor.
Really? The Black Dragons is usually, isn't it like your 100% magic resist?
No,
Isn't
in-
that like the lore of usually
in
for the Black
lore-
Dragons?
No, in lore, the black dragon
the
is
gold dragon?
It's like the dragon of destruction.
Listen,
So it should be like more damage or something.
Oh,
like that.
right.
Alright, we're actually just, we're pulling slacks
the
right
color
here.
doesn't matter. It needs to be armor reduction if you can do the dragon to both buildings and units.
Stacking. -2 every hit. Stacking
Sure.
limitless.
You know what?
Sure.
I think that once there is going to be an Aghanim's upgrade for Dragon Knight, I'm sure that Ice Frog will be able to give us a good one. All right.
I hope so. I hope it's
Hopefully.
not like an OD Aghanim Scepter. That would be boring.
What do you mean? It could be AoE Dragon Tail. He blinks in the middle of the fight.
Oh,
Because that's not OP.
He does
Where's my
a little. He does a little like spin as the
with
dragon.
his tail? Oh, yeah, that's
See?
true. That would look cool. They can sell some
You heard me, Ice
cosmetics
Frog.
there.
You heard me, Ice
Give a little cut to Fog when that comes out. No problem.
Oh yeah, also the first time I've seen Ramses DP.
Yeah.
Don't get to see that a lot, and he looked very comfortable, very dominating, convinced.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
convinced.
when it's VP and they win all 3 lanes, the game
Yeah.
tends to be pretty
I feel
hard.
like that's most teams winning all 3 lanes, you're going to win the game most of the time.
Yeah.
But VP, it just takes it to another level because they do it more often.
Yeah, I mean, Newbee, they still, at least the one thing I saw is that they were trying to at least make moves. I saw them, they hit level 6 on the gyro, and they're like, yeah, Mugi's getting pressured so much in the lanes. They tried to actually go smoke and kill no one at the Ancients when he was farming it, and they missed that kill. And then it like, really slows down a lot of the momentum that the gyro wants to have.
And slows on the TA a lot. But they never got the kill.
They didn't get the kill.
They did not
Only
get the
TP
kill.
to save him.
It looks. I mean, it looks pretty sad. This. No.
Look at this sad
look at the
excuse for
stats for Newbee. It's it's very evident that they were not able to get their game plan going at any stage of this game. This is basically like lanes were over, game is done scenario.
Yeah, 1 objective, 10 heroes killed, and then you look at VP's 33 hero killed, 8 objectives. It just was a clean.
Yeah. I mean,
Clean
it was.
walk.
It was a
There's a
clean
lot of
walk for them. Now the question remains: Virtus.pro, which player would we name the MVP? I mean, is it going to be no one again? I feel like this is a clear no one MVP scenario.
100%.
Anybody objecting?
100%.
I'm not objecting.
Oh, okay, wow.
All right,
That's a
there you
first.
go.
Yeah, look, there's kill participation
Also,
again.
just as we transitioned to our segment, no one was in the background of Shiva.
He was.
He was actually.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was actually perfect.
Oh, perfect.
It was amazing.
Not planned at all. Sweet.
104% kill participation again.
Yeah, yeah.
Second time he's over 100%.
I mean, he wins his lane so fast that he's everywhere after that. His rotations, I don't know how you're going to deal with it if he wins his lane. Like, you need to shut him down. But
This
then,
is
But how do you shut him down?
how do you shut him down?
Yeah.
Because the only, like the second game that we saw today where he did have a relative bad game compared to the other games he had, it was not necessarily that he lost the lane, it was that he was on a Razor, which just can't be as mobile, right? So that's not even a legitimate way to shut him down.
Shut him down is just getting a clear hero matchup favoring. Like Lina versus Razor, Lina should win that one pretty well.
And then they still go even.
Yeah, and then they still kind of went even, so that was like a little bit of a problem. But yeah, I think you
Man,
really have
as
to
a
just
team, though,
have that.
we've talked about this time and time again. VP is obviously very individually skilled, but I don't remember a team in the last 3 years that has had this level of chemistry. You guys agree with that? Like it's
100%.
something like so noticeable, even from like a novice's point of view. You can just tell that everything they do is super coordinated, and it's a good thing they get along because that's also part of chemistry, as you guys know, within any team structure.
Another keyword though, discipline. Yesterday we saw Infamous, they lacked it, and I think VP probably has the most discipline out of any team, possibly.
They've been together for so long, right?
Yeah.
So like that does build together, like you're saying, the team chemistry and everything. I mean, I was watching this team from before Boston Major and everything, I was looking at them and I was like, damn, this is one of my favorite teams to watch because they're so clean. When they have a game plan, they execute it so smoothly. Yeah. And they've been together since then for the most part, of course, just replacing Lil.
And that was when qualifiers were still CIS and EU combined. They knocked out Liquid and Secret out of those qualifiers. Looked so hot going into Boston, and it was a pretty big disappointment for them that they didn't get very far. There was a very unfavorable bracket for them at that point, up against I think Evil Geniuses. That was still a good one at that point. And I feel like that loss there kind of set them off. It's like, well, okay, we need to do better, and they basically focused and they never let go.
Yeah, it just seems like everything has just gotten better and better for them over time. Solo's drafting, Solo controlling the team, not letting them do these sloppy plays. They're just very clean for the most part.
So who's going to stop them?
LGD.
Only
that's going to be,
that is the question,
if that ends up being the case, that's going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, because we will find out who their opponent is very soon. We can take a look at the brackets and see where this first series leads us. Because, as you can see, Virtus.pro waiting in that semifinals of the upper bracket, and they are waiting for either Mineski or LGD. Now, unfortunately for Newbee, they have to also wait for their opponent, but they are waiting in the lower bracket. They are still top 12, and they're waiting for either Thunder or the final Tribe, whoever is victorious in that matchup later today. Also, another matchup that we are going to see today is Vici Gaming versus Na'Vi, so a lot of exciting games to look forward to for sure. And the first game to look forward to is indeed the upper bracket. LGD versus Mineski, the rematch after the break.